Yeah, just playing a tactics session today, and I'll start tactics. First one, and that rook has just put itself in a very dangerous position, but there must be some tactics on offer here to lead to a checkmate. I think maybe rook takes pawn on c3, and then a recapture with the pawn. I think that might do it. Retreats. A few interesting possibilities here. Could play rook to c2, then play rook to b2, but maybe it's something a little bit more immediate than that, which could be on offer. Perhaps I could simply just take the rook on h5. Okay, now I'll just play here. Well, he protects the queen. He protects the pawn, sorry, on b2. So maybe I could just chase the queen away somehow from that spot. I don't think I can though. I'll end up losing a pawn and a rook for a queen. I think this involves somehow just taking the rook somehow. I'll take the queen. Okay, got that problem right. On to the next problem. Okay, endgame problem here. Could involve taking the knight. I think this problem probably involve getting a passed pawn involved. But I think I've noticed a pin here on the knight. And then probably just take the knight. That's correct. My rating is now 1640. On to the next problem. Probably involves some sort of checkmate. Maybe attack against the queen. I think if the queen moved from its defense of the h7 pawn, that could possibly lead to checkmate. I think it's probably something more immediate than that. Also, I'm vulnerable on the g2 square to checkmate. So perhaps attacking the queen with e4. Nope. Okay, and that was the solution to the next problem. King is in a bit of a desperate position there. Maybe I could play e3, check. Perhaps I could play pawn h5, taking away one of the possible escape squares for the white king. I think I'll play e3. Now possibly king f6, protecting the pawns, and then checkmating on the next move. There was a similar problem to this in the last tactics session, I seem to remember. I do play king g6. There are no possible checks on my king, except for that one. But that just loses a piece. So I've got that one correct. On to the next problem. King takes h3. So possible continuations could include rook to h8 check, rook to h1 check, or even g4 check. If I play g4 check, he'll probably play, well, he'll have to play g2. And I think maybe rook h1 check, and then he'll move to g2, and I can check again on h2. And I could take here. So let me go through that. h1, g2, check on h2. You can either go here or there. Now I'll take the rook. Maybe not. If I play this rook to h8, perhaps that's a bit of continuation. Okay. Now rook to h2 would lead him to play king. I think that would do it actually. So king f3, and then check. Checkmate. Waiting now up to 1640. One more before call it night. So king gained the perilous position. of my pieces really look in any position to mount an attack though. Could just simply take the rook. He'd obviously take back. I'd have the queen square covered with my bishop. And then it's just a matter of perhaps advancing these pawns here. Nope. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. Rating is now 1636. Not much change from the last time. Anyway, thanks for watching.